Hey everybody, welcome to Comics Now for November 2018. Lots of stuff going on. We're gearing up. We're heading towards the holidays. Lots of stuff going on in November and then leading into a crazy December.
From the shining domicile that is Pittsburgh Comics, my old mannered comic shop owner Colin McMahon transforms into the world's greatest comic book talking TV host. Join us, true believers, for Comics Now!
First thing I want to say, I'm still doing my progressive sale that I started in October, where I'm doing back issue sale and it's going up 10% every week. So currently, the first week of November is going to be 50% off all back issues, and it's going to go all the way. It's going to keep going all the way through Black Friday. So if you're interested in getting some nice chunks of good reading material from some older stuff, come on down and check out my stock. Lots of other stuff going on. We have a midnight release coming up on Tuesday, November 6th. Green Lantern by Grant Morrison is coming out, and DC's making a big deal of it. They've ended the other two Green Lantern books and going to let him have his fun with it. It's a new monthly book from DC. Grant Morrison, Liam Sharp doing the art on it. Just kind of a new take and kind of refocusing, recentering the Green Lantern universe. So to celebrate this, we're going to have a midnight release. We had one last November, and I won an award for it. So award-winning midnight releases here at Pittsburgh Comics. But there's going to be 4 different covers of the book. We're also going to have lithographs to give away. I think I'm getting 25, so the first 25 people here will get a special Green Lantern lithograph. And come out and have fun. I'm going to have some special sales related to Green Lantern and to Grant Morrison. I'll open at 11:45. Come on in, grab your stuff, and we'll have some fun. Other things going on. We also have, we're having Local Comic Shop Day, which is on Saturday, November 17th. And this is an event that was created, try to get people, in the holiday season there's a lot of online shopping and things like that, and we were trying to figure out a way to get customers into the stores to find the special things that they're looking for people. And so they came up with Local Comic Shop Day. It's basically just a way to go into your local comic shop and get some unique items. Publishers are putting out special hardcovers of some books, some very limited exclusive variant covers of some comics. Just lots of different stuff. I'll have it, all the list of everything that's coming out posted on the website. But that's coming up on Saturday, November 17th. And then, of course, the following weekend is Thanksgiving, and after Thanksgiving is Black Friday. So we'll be doing a big Black Friday sale, and then that also leads into Small Business Saturday, which is always a hope to get people, again, offline and come into the store. So that's all the big events and things going on here in November. Pretty much something going on every week, which is fun. So we also have book club. Book club has been really successful. I've really enjoyed it. Lots of people coming in. I order in pizza, and we have a good time talking about the books, and then it devolves into just bizarre, fun conversations about whatever. This month we are doing Marvels by Kurt Busiek and Alex Ross. It's a story of looking at the origin of the Marvel Universe through the eyes of just normal people, where all of a sudden these fantastic creatures start showing up, and people, can burst into flame and stretch, and giant things come from the sky. So it was a really neat book, fully painted, really nice. We're doing that on Friday, November 30th, so right at the end of the month. So if you're interested, just ask about the book. I have them here, and you get 25% off if you say it's for book club. So even if you don't want to come get the book. So that's all the events going on here at Pittsburgh Comics. Now let's go into some of the books that are coming out. We'll start with Marvel because they have a real big release that they're really pushing. And it's Uncanny X-Men #1. This is going to be a weekly book for the first 10 weeks. It's by Matthew Rosenberg. Kelly Thompson and Ed Brisson are going to be the writers of it, and they're going to alternate. And then it's Mahmoud Asrar is drawing it, along with others, as they described it. So we'll see how that goes on. But it's just basically kind of a recentering. We haven't had an Uncanny X-Men book, which has always been kind of the main X-Men book. We haven't had one for a while. We had Gold and Blue and Red, and now they're all kind of wrapping up and leading into this new Uncanny X-Men. So the first one comes out on Wednesday, November 14th. So lots of good stuff every week. Also have Marvel Knights is back. They're doing a Marvel Knights 20th anniversary celebration. It's a 6-issue series, and it's helmed by Donny Cates, who is one of the Marvel's big writers right now. And he's in charge of it. Basically, 20 years ago, Marvel was coming out of bankruptcy, and they gave Joe Quesada and Jimmy Palmiotti some free reign to do whatever they wanted. And they picked some characters they wanted to play with, including Daredevil and Punisher and Black Panther, and let them, tell their own kind of stories. And it was really successful, and really relaunched all of Marvel. So it's the 20th anniversary, so they're going to be celebrating that. So we're going to be getting this miniseries, and then I'm sure we're going to get some other books spinning out of this. Avengers is hitting issue 700, so they're going to make a big deal about this. I forget if it's issue 10 or 11, but when you add up all the issues that have come out over the years, you get to 700. So there'll be a big anniversary, I'm sure, oversized issue coming. Ironheart #1 is coming. This is by Eve Ewing and Kevin Libranda. And Ironheart is a girl who, one of the STEM kids, real into science and things, and started tinkering with robotics, and came under the eye of Tony Stark. And when he went into his coma, she took over as Iron Man, and she was involved in taking over the Iron Man series and trying to find him after his body was missing. But so now she's getting her own book as Ironheart. So, also have Dead Man Logan. This is continue on in the last issue of Old Man Logan just came out, and at the end he apparently died. So this is going to be continuing his story and his attempt to get back to his alternate reality and his timeline. Web of Venom, Carnage Born. Donny Cates has been doing a great job with Venom, and they had a Web of Venom, which was Venom in Vietnam, and he's just doing a series of one-shots, and this one now is going to be focusing on Carnage, who is the spawn of Venom. So this should be good and well-received, and everybody's really liking his stuff. Black Order is getting a miniseries. Black Order were the people, if you saw the Avengers movie, they were Thanos' kind of warrior troop. And I think it was that Avengers run that we had a little bit ago, they were used by the Game Master, or the Grand Master, I always mess that one up, as his pieces on the chessboard in his battle. Well, now he's sending them off to a far-off planet to try to take it over, and the Black Order learns there's always someone bigger and stronger than you, and they're going to run into something where they seem undefeatable. They're going to run into some problems. Typhoid Fever X-Men, this is continuing on after the Typhoid Fever Spider-Man, where Typhoid Mary is back, and she's causing trouble, and now the X-Men are going to have to deal with her. Infinity Wars is doing some Warp books, where they're combining some characters, and in this case, we're getting Ghost Panther, where it's a combination of Black Panther and Ghost Rider. Daredevil 612 ends the current Daredevil run. Charles Soule is ending his run on this, and they're going to be relaunching a new Man Without Fear book, but in this one, the storyline is the death of Daredevil, so we'll see where this goes. Daredevil has a little bit of a history of the writers leaving the character in a really precarious situation to see how the next guy handles it. Brian Michael Bendis, when he left, Daredevil had been exposed, his identity had been exposed, and he was in jail. So, and that's where Ed Brubaker had to pick it up. So Charles Soule has decided to leave Daredevil dead for the next writer. So that'll be fun. Star Wars Han Solo Imperial Cadet is the story of young Han Solo when he was conscripted into the Intergalactic Empire Army. And then Spider-Man #1. This is an interesting situation where IDW is going to be doing some of the Marvel young reader books, and they're coming out with an all-ages Spider-Man book. So I'm looking forward to this. I hope they really expand this line, because I all the time get parents in looking for books for kids, and the regular Spider-Man isn't great for an 8 to 10-year-old. It's probably a little over their head and a little too involved. So getting just something simple, something nice, that's not just an adaptation of a cartoon, which is what we've had for a long time. So it's going to be nice to getting some new material. They've been doing a real good job with the Star Wars adventures that we've been getting, that have been really popular with adults and kids. So it's going to be nice to get another kind of standalone Spider-Man book that's not involved in all the continuity and things. So on to DC. DC has a lot going on in November. I already mentioned we have the Green Lantern #1 coming from Grant Morrison. We also have the Justice League Aquaman Drowned Earth storyline is going right now, and it's crossing over between Justice League and Aquaman. And basically something has happened. and these ancient warriors have come back to Earth, and they're using the oceans against Earth to try to take it over, and Aquaman and the Justice League have to figure out how to stop them. So, big event going through the Justice League and Aquaman books. New one, Vertigo, is kind of back. They've relaunched, coming out with some new books, and they have one coming out called American Carnage, which is a story of a disgraced FBI agent who is going to try to get back in the good graces by infiltrating a white supremacist hate group. So, fun and exciting. But that's coming from Vertigo. DC Nuclear Winter Special is their Christmas special with a bunch of different stories, a bunch of different creators. They're always fun. Electric Warriors. This was a book way back in the 80s that I remember. It was on the old Baxter paper and fun and exciting. And basically what it is Earth has been kind of destroyed, and as it's coming back, it's joined this galactic alliance. But part of it is you have to send an electric warrior to battle on behalf of your planet. So every planet sends a warrior to fight to see who survives. And Earth can't decide on just one, and they actually send two champions, and that causes trouble. So this is a new one. It's neat. It's going to be from Steve Orlando and Travel Foreman. So good creative team on this one. Shazam is coming. The movie's coming, and so they've decided to do a book that they've been teasing us for a very long time, really since the beginning of New 52. When it was a backup story in the Justice League. The nice thing is Jeff Johns is on this, and Jeff Johns is one of the top people at DC, and he hasn't done a lot lately. So it's nice he's going to be doing this new Shazam book with Dale Eaglesham. So everybody's really excited about this one. It should be really good. And then a neat little interesting one, Suicide Squad Secret Files, with kind of black tales of some of the characters, things, in the Secret Files that they didn't want you to know. So this little anthology book. Image has some stuff. We have Bitter Root. This one is by David Walker and Sanford Green. It's about 1920s Harlem, and it's a horror story about monster hunters. Outer Darkness. This is by John Layman, who had a big long run on Chew, and it's basically a sci-fi horror mashup. So if you want horror in outer space, you got it. Auntie Agatha's Home for Wayward Rabbits. Yes, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. A little crazy, but basically it's a home for abandoned rabbits, and the evil businessman wants to take it and bulldoze the home, and this girl has to save it. The interesting thing, this is Keith Giffen doing this, and Keith Giffen's had a long run of doing really interesting stuff since back like Legion of Superheroes in the 80s, and then going through, he was a big part of 52 a few years ago. So it's just interesting to see what crazy stuff is going to come out of his head. The Terrible Elizabeth Dunn Against the Devils in Suits. Interesting title. Basically, Elizabeth's father had sold her soul to the devil to advance his life, and now she's of age and is going to be fighting back. This is just a little one-shot, but I thought that was an interesting concept. Middle West is a new one from Scotty Young, where a boy adventurer is tasked with taking on this storm that knows his name. The Warning is a new sci-fi one where suddenly this huge mechanical creature shows up, and we need to figure out why it's here and who sent it and what's going on. Wicked and Divine is getting near the end of its run, and so they decided to have a little bit of fun, and they had some friends of theirs come in and write some stories about their characters, but in a humorous way. And it's Wicked and Divine, The Funnies, with some other creators playing with their characters. And then there's a new Street Angel book. Jim Rugg has created this. He's a local guy, and he's created this character Street Angel, and he's done a bunch of nice big oversized hardcover books with Street Angel, and there's a new one coming out in November. Dark Horse. Interesting book, William Gibson's Aliens 3, and what this is adapting the original screenplay that was written for Aliens 3 that apparently went off the rails and they redid it. But this is an adaptation of what that movie was supposed to be by the creator of Aliens. So there's been a lot of interest in this. Dr. Horrible was back. He's by Joss Whedon. It was a little video thing with, Doogie Howser and, oh man, my names are horrible. The guy from Firefly. I apologize. But they did a series of videos, and then he's done some books, and they're doing a new book on that. Mike Mignola has a new book, new Lobster Johnson book coming, and a new Hellboy BPRD book coming. Light Stop, I'm just going to read this one right out. Fantastic tale of alien worlds, a star-spanning empire, and rogues and rebels seeking a weapon hidden in the transmission of a radio drama from Earth thousands of years ago. So that could be interesting. Gods of War, they're also doing a Gods of War book based on the video game. IDW is coming out with a new Star Wars Adventures book. It's Destroyer Down. And it's about a long time ago an Imperial Star Cruiser crashed on this planet, but due to severe sandstorms and things, it got completely covered up, and now it's being uncovered, and Rey is going to try to get to it to salvage what she can before everybody else shows up. There's a new Atomic Robo book coming, and a new Star Trek Waypoint special, which is expanding all of the Star Trek galaxies, all 50 years of its history from Enterprise all the way to the current stuff. There's a new GoBots. This is by Tom Scioli, who's also a Pittsburgh guy. Basically taking his take. He did a G.I. Joe Transformers book, and now he's taking on the GoBots. They're doing a Magic the Gathering Chandra book. Magic the Gathering, the card game, has all these fantastic characters, and they're doing a comic of her. Sukeban Turbo is about girl gangs. It's basically set up on girl gangs in Japan in the 70s, and they're kind of adapting that to America. And it's these girls who go to high school and everything, but they're basically a gang and take care of their own. And Night Moves is a noir meets horror in Vegas. So that could be a lot of fun. Dynamite has a lot of stuff coming out too. They have a new James Bond book. They've been doing really well with the James Bond. We're doing Origins right now, which is young James Bond. And they're coming out with a new one, James Bond 007 #1. This is by Greg Pak, who's doing this. And it's a story of when he first met Oddjob. He goes over to Singapore chasing somebody and runs afoul of Oddjob from, what movie was that? I forget. Maybe, but the guy who throws the hat, I believe. So, Betty Page is getting a new series. I really enjoyed the first one. It's not what I was expecting, and really, really enjoyable. And Battlestar Galactica, they're doing a series of books based on the classic series and those versions of the characters. So they're going back to that. Boom has some interesting stuff. Smooth Criminals, where this just nondescript Brenda accidentally uncovers a master thief cryogenically frozen from the 60s, and thaws her out and leads these bizarre, fun adventures for her. And Firefly. Firefly is back. It's over at Boom now. It was a Dark Horse. And what they're telling a story, this is also Greg Pak is doing this. It's a story of the Unification War that is referred to at the beginning, and that's why they're on the run, because they were on the wrong side of the war. This is going to be the story of that war and what happened to these characters from the very beginning. So lots of excitement over this. The Empty Man is back. Cullen Bunn's horror book. They're doing more, and basically the Empty Man is a disease that causes insanity and violence in the people that contract it. So fun and exciting as well. Archie is hitting Archie 700, so it's a big celebration issue. Black Mask, we're getting one called Snap Flash Hustle, and it's basically models using their lifestyle to be able to deal drugs and stuff, because they go all over the place. And Valiant is giving us Bloodshot's origin. We're finally getting the definitive origin of Bloodshot in Rising Spirit #1, where he was taken and infected with all of the nanites and everything, and we're going to get his actual true origin. So Valiant's been doing really well with all their stuff. People are really liking their stuff. So if you want to jump in, this is probably a really good time to jump in on Bloodshot. So that'll be coming out in November. They were even nice enough to send me a nanite prevention kit. So if you're worried about getting infected, we can help take care of you too. So that's everything that's going on at the store. Lots of stuff. We got the midnight release. We got local comic shop day. We have Black Friday, book club at the end of the month. So lots of fun, exciting stuff. If you ever have any questions about anything going on here in the store or in comics in general, just get a hold of me. You can find the website's pittsburghcomics.com. I'm on Facebook under Pittsburgh Comics. Twitter and Instagram is PGH Comics, where I keep trying to post things to keep you aware of what exactly is going on. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for Comic Previews Theater, presented by Entertainment Weekly. Thanks.
My God, what happened to you? Crystalline?
Ons afgezakter, zerplen, zerklinter.
Jordan. GL 2814.1? That's right. We work together, Castilian. You okay?
Protect en route Richard Ventura to OA with prisoners for processing. Accident in overspace. Tell Proto Crystal salutes we love them very much.
Tell him yourself. You're not dying. I'm getting you out of here.
I'll never make it. I let them loose. 3 of the deadliest killers in the galaxy. If they reach population centers, the devastation will be terrible.
Give me the case details at 20 minutes. Hang tight. I'll be back. The only thing is, I'm running on fumes and I can't recharge my ring. Guardians took my power battery for repair and upgrade.
They use my Green Lantern.
In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light.
We're holding this entire city hostage. Understand? One false move and the financial district gets it.
What is that?
Space Police!
Nobody panic. Chill. I've got this.